So let's assume the situation. You've been playing Street Fighter 6 for a little bit now, you're getting comfortable with the game, but also you wanted some guidance and you want to accelerate your growth. Personally, I found one of the best ways to do this is by copying very, very good players. They have so much knowledge, so much tech. It's time to let them in and fill you up with all of that. And I did just that with Ado and Strider. Step 1, you gotta find someone that you want to emulate. But the important part here now is once you've picked them, you gotta watch them play. And as you watch, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the breadth of stuff that is happening on screen, so you're gonna wanna pick a few flagpole situations, if you will, to start taking notes about. And look at the surrounding context of those situations, like what's happening before and after. Common situations are after certain normals that are often used, after certain specials that are often used. Knockdowns are a very big one. So for myself, when I was working on my Marisa, I chose Ado and Strider. He's a legend rank Marisa player. He's been a top player since like Street Fighter 4. Solid person to watch. He also streams, so I had a breadth of matches to watch. And lucky for myself, I've already developed a basic game plan as to how I've been playing Marisa, and I had a few questions that I wanted answered, which I do when I have my opponent cornered, because I haven't done anything special yet in those situations. And 2, what was Strider doing in those Daimokairi situations? Was he doing anything different from me? Is there something I'm missing? At this point, all I did was pull up Strider's stream, watch some VODs. I pulled out Notepad, and every time one of these flagpole situations popped up, I just wrote down Strider's choice in that situation and any follow-ups he might have done. And after taking all those notes, you'll often notice common themes that occur. And specifically in those situations with Strider, in the corner situation, he always tried to convert his combos into the Superman punch and then went for the safe jump. I said a lot of words there, but I'll round back to it. And after Daimokairi, most times he actually went for a charged back heavy punch, canceled into Gladius. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look into those situations. Much like I should scroll down and click on that like button, subscribe, maybe comment. Please? So technically, you can just play games now and just try it out. Personally speaking though, I like to take it to the lab a bit. Not so much to understand why, but more so just to understand what my options are in those situations, just so, you know, I can still try to win games. So going back what to do in the corner. So I mentioned that Strider always tried to convert into the Superman special, which is this special, and then he does a safe jump. But before we get to the safe jump part, I need to find ways to combo into it in the first place. And the main ways that I found that Strider was doing it was off of the crouch medium punch, and you can do crouch medium punch, drive cancel, stand medium kick, back heavy punch Daimokairi, raw drive rush, back heavy punch, heavy Superman. Another combo that happened pretty often is charged back heavy punch into the same exact situation. So first step, I practiced these combos, got used to them in training mode, and at least figured out what situations I would even be able to warrant using these. And the main places I landed was, of course, off of jumping, you get the back heavy punch, meaning I could cancel that into the heavy Daimokairi, which is into the rest of the combo. The other 2 situations is the reverse DI, as I mentioned before, and whiff punishes with crouch medium punch, of which both are drillable, and I was already drilling stuff, so awesome. So if you do these Superman combos correctly, you'll notice that you'll be plus 42 of advantage that allows for safe jump situations. It isn't true of every character, but it's true of most. I'm not going to go into the specifics of how and why safe jumps works in this video, but a safe jump is a way to apply pressure with a jumping attack, but still be safe from OD reversals. And the OD reversal part is important because that is the one defensive option that a lot of characters have that will straight up beat out most of your pressure attempts, besides the aggressor being the one that pulls back and block. So to show off the safe jump, let's go to the settings and go to the reversal section and make Ryu wake up with an OD reversal, the Dragon Punch / Shoryuken. So now if I knock him down, he always wakes up with an OD reversal, and go for a crouching medium punch, I hit out of it. So to prove the safe jump out, I'm gonna do the combo into the Superman punch, jump in with a heavy punch, and look at that, I land and I'm blocking. Let's actually turn this wake up option off and do this exact same setup, and look at that, the standing heavy punch actually hits Ryu blocks, and because I did a jumping attack, I'm plus 11 right there, so I can press my advantage and continue my pressure. And of course on hit, you can continue a combo as well. And then I did mention before, you should look at the surrounding context and the follow-ups, and specifically Strider, when he made the opponent block the safe jump, he usually went for a forward heavy kick canceled into a Gladius, or went for a command throw. So at this point, I now have an idea of at least what my options are in the corner, so I moved on to the Damacaris. So this is what I used to do when I hit the opponent with the Damacaris. I would just drive rush into a crouching medium punch, and after that crouching medium punch, I can go for a normal throw. I can confirm into combos on hit. I have time to reverse DI if I see it. Lots of options. But he was going for this more often. After this situation, I'm like much more plus, and it is confirmable into big damage, but I can't really pressure because I'm too far. And the thing is, when he did confirm that the opponent blocked that charged back heavy punch, he often just finished out the string with another heavy punch, canceled into the Gladius. Which is odd because you just kind of punch yourself out. You can't pressure anymore after that. And also I should note, when he noticed that this first back heavy punch gets blocked often by opponent, Strider would go for a command throw instead every so often. So at this point, I didn't really understand why Strider was doing these things. But I felt like I had enough to at least take it to the games, try it out with a meaningful intent, and that's what I did. A big thing at this point when you start playing these games, try to get into the mindset of, I'm going to lose. I'm working right now on increasing my win rate in the long term, so it's okay if I lose right now. Try to keep that in your head, otherwise you're gonna get super salty. Cool? Cool. So as mentioned, as you're playing your matches, play with intent, i.e. try to make those new tools work, or try to expand upon them to make it more usable. An example of this is in the corner. Like I said, if I did a safe jump and the opponent blocked, Strider often went for a forward heavy kick into a Gladius. And I just assumed it was the heavy punch Gladius, but then I started noticing this. When I had Kens and Ryus in the corner, after that Gladius, they would often do a crouching medium kick, and they would just catch me walking backwards trying to gain space again. And then it's Street Fighter 6, so they'll cancel the crouch medium kick into a drive rush, into damage, or putting me in the corner, and it's not a fun time. So I got like rationally angry, but I slept on it, and I took it to the lab. First corner to the dummy, making sure they're blocking. Go to the menu and then the reversal settings. Make sure to go to block reversal and set it to crouching medium kick. Then we're going to turn this on, test it out real quick. Per each block, we're gaining a crouch medium kick, so that's good. Back to the menu, if you highlight crouch medium kick and press square, you'll see the count settings, and then the count settings means the number of blocks the dummy will do before it does the reversal. Now count settings too, so single punches don't trigger the reversal, but... And the string that we're trying to test is the jump in, then the heavy kick, and then the Gladius. So that'd be count 3. So we turn that on, we go back to the game, do the string, and look at that. This was a situation that was making me super angry. So I just had this reversal setting on, I played with the situation quite a bit, and I realized something interesting. If I changed the Gladius from the heavy punch Gladius to the light punch Gladius, it pushed me out further such that the crouch medium kick would always whiff if I just pulled back or stood still. And especially as Marisa, if I get someone to whiff something like that right in front of me in the corner, I hit them with the bomb. So I also started practicing this combo just so I can punish the people that were making me very angry. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Once you've done this process a couple of times and you're decently comfortable with these new tools, take some time to reflect on if anything changed. Like, hopefully your win rate went up. If so, ask, why did it go up? And if for some reason your win rate has gone down, still ask why. Because maybe there's something you missed, or maybe you're copying something in a way that's missing some context. The conclusions I got to were that my win rate shot way up, and I actually win streaked all the way to 1600, and some things that I figured out in terms of gameplay. So the safe jump is a no-brainer as to why that was helpful. The moment I get anyone in the corner, I don't have to worry about OD reversals, it's my turn. Point being, I have a safer way to start pressure, and I'm confident in that situation. And what I found for the Damacaris situation was that the kind of commitments that we're making and the decisions weren't that different compared to what I was doing before this exercise. It's just now I was doing disgustingly more damage. What I mean by similar commitment to choices is, before I would do this meaty crouch medium punch and I can go for the follow-ups, but if I found that they were often blocking the crouch medium punch, I would just go for a normal throw instead, right? Same exact idea now, except with the charge back heavy punch, and if that was blocked, I would now just go for a command throw. Obviously with command throws, I have more recovery, so the punish that they can do to me hurts a lot worse, but also I was just doing so much more damage to them on average that rounds just ended much faster. And the last thing I found was something I was not expecting. On top of the damage my opponents were receiving, they were doubly pressured by them getting really low on drive gauge or straight up getting burnt out much more often. Like, remember how I was saying this string seems weird considering I don't have any follow-ups afterwards and how often Strider was doing them? Take a look at how much drive gauge damage that did. And the thing is, even when I lose out on that follow-up pressure, if you saw the first video of the series, my base game plan revolved around being solid and being able to react well in neutral anyways. So even with no follow-ups, I was comfortable. I was doing good. But yeah, once you make these conclusions, it's a good time to watch those players again just to kind of confirm your beliefs, or maybe you'll notice something different. Maybe you'll find new things that you want to try. And here I have to make a little bit of a confession. So the videos of Strider that you saw in this video are actually within the last 2 months. So these were the notes that I was taking like 6 months ago for this exercise. And you'll notice I put specific Twitch links with the timestamps in them. But if I click on it, turns out Twitch deletes stuff. So like the point of the video still stands, but why would I want to mention this? It's mostly because Strider has changed it up quite a bit. He definitely still does go for these options every so often, but much less than he used to. I do have my suspicions though. These setups that we've learned are very telegraphed, meaning a good player can recognize it pretty quickly, and they have likely started perfect pairing these, so we gotta mix it up now. Second thing, if you happen to be a Marisa player, turns out Strider straight up made guides for Marisa, so definitely check those out if you're a Marisa main and you want to get better. And the exact same process that I described in this video still applies to guides like that. It's just if you have the guides, you can skip a lot of the figuring out of hows and whys, and you can just focus on bringing those tools into your play bit by bit, evaluating, going back to the guide, rewatching, making changes, stuff of that nature. So that's the kind of process I like to use when trying to copy top level players to improve my play. But even if you start incorporating new tech, combos, adaptation skills, it's kind of all useless if you can't control the in-between and react to the shenanigans that people might throw at you. With that in mind, check this video out on how to set up reaction drills in training mode such that you can take care of those shenanigans. It's also how I got to master rank without thinking, and it's also how I started this specific series.